WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Glen Scotia. This is a whiskey.de exclusive. So, Glen Scotia, single malt Scotch whiskey, classic Campbelltown malt, cask strength, non-chilled filtered natural color. What? Cask strength? 46%. Urgh. So, what I really hate is you can see here cask strength, and you can see down here once again 46%. So what they do is they take the tube and they just put a new sticker on it, a new label. I think that is not right. So whiskey.de, Horst, sorry, that's a no-go. So this is Whiskey Base 135294, 1,800 bottles of this for Germany. There was a cask strength version of this as well that came out about the same time. 74 euros, 75 euros was the cask strength version. It ran about 54.4% ABV. And this is, as I said, 46%, and this is 55 euros, so about $62, $65 dollars. Now, Campbellton is a very interesting distillery. About 5 or 6 years ago, they were actually bought by the Loch Lomond Group. Loch Lomond, we know from a couple of their nice little whiskeys they do. The bottles look almost similar. And then now in June of 2019, the Loch Lomond Group, that was Loch Lomond with their distillery, as well as the Glen Scotia, were bought by the Chinese investment group called Hill House Capital Management. Will that be good or bad? I'm not sure. All right, so this has some information on it. That's very good. It says here that it actually was bottled in May 2019. It was distilled February 2008. So it's 11 years old. Very nice. There was 1,800 bottles. So I'm guessing there's about 3 casks that they actually bought. My question is, how many bottles at 46% can you get out of a Ruby Port cask? Is it more around the area of 600? Or is it more around the area of 900? I'm going to go for 600 bottles, 46%, so that would be a total of 3 casks they bought. Now, conspiracy theory number 2, after talking about the cask strength on the tube, boo. 2018, there was the Campbellton Malt Festival. We have the Malt Festival on the Isle of Fisheye, totally wrong. We have the Speyside Festival in May, and there's also in Campbellton, even though there's just 3 distilleries, Glen Scotia, Springbank, and Glengoyne / Kilkerran. And they did a festival, and they did actually a festival bottling. 2019 was rum, and 2018 was Ruby Port casks. So what I think happened is there were a couple of casks left over. The one with the cask strength that went into the higher premium end, and then Whiskey.de just said, okay, 3 of them, okay, bottle them for us, we'll sell them, no problem, give us a good price, and everything's okay. Now, I personally like Glengoyne. I actually very much like their 15-year-old Glengoyne. This is like deep, dark, like the soul of someone here. The box is not great for the camera. The bottle, looks exactly the same. So they're using the same types of bottles here for their normal as well as for their special editions here. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit here. I really like the Glen Scotia 15. It's got a nice dark graham cracker, honey, as well as some barrel char and some spice, so single malt spice. Very nice whiskey, 15 years old. Over here in Germany, it's about the same price as this over here. This is 11 years old. This is 15 years old. This has a special finish. This has almost no smoke whatsoever, no peat. This has a little bit of peat in it. So let's try the nose. What I'm getting, and this is really weird, I get something like a little bit of almost a slight moment of fish oil with a lot of raspberry vanilla sauce on top of it. Now, what I did in my German video is I did a Ralphie trick. Now, I'm not down to the shoulder pour yet. I'm still here up in the bottleneck. And so I'm going to actually aerate it a little bit. I think this whiskey needs a little bit of air. So I tried it the very, very first time in my German video. I was like, oh, this is going to be maybe even a D whiskey. And then I played with it a little bit. I spent some time with it. I gave it some air. I actually added a few drops of whiskey, and it turns into actually a C+ type of whiskey in the end. That fish oil goes away fairly quickly, turns more into like a marshmallow moment. A marshmallow is a little bit of a chemical touch still there, but those raspberries and a little bit of vanilla sauce on top of that is actually a very, very nice whiskey. The very, very fruity type of moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my 3 drops of water to this, and then I'm going to try it, and I'm going to evaluate it. So over here, my Glen Scotia 15, perfect as it is. I think it's actually always bottled at 46% as well. Yep, true non-chilled filter, very, very nicely done. If I could do like a tasting, Glen Scotia 15, Bunnahabhain 12, Oban 14, Kleinlich 14. I'm forgetting one of these, one of my favorite. Oban 14, Kleinlich 14, Glen Scotia, Old Pulteney 12-year-old. Just some of those standards out there. They're just fantastic whiskeys for a great price where you don't really have to go up into this boom, 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 boom. Auchentoshan and 3 Woods. It's just fantastic whiskeys in the standard range. Very, very nice. So our nice little experiment here. Our nice sweet ruby port. Getting a lot of that raspberries. Got a fairly nice mouthfeel, a little bit of oiliness, thick. That smoke is distant. It's very, very, very far away. It's constantly a little bit there. You know the feeling of if you had something, maybe let's say you did a barbecue, and there's a little bit of that black char on your meat, but you don't really like on a sausage or on a piece of, I don't know, it's like if you had a steak or something and you, okay, it's a nice positive thing. That's what you're getting here, but it's not like a peat monster. It's not like really in your face. It's very, very, very sweet. It's marshmallowy sweet even, and a marshmallowy sweet with a raspberry moment. Raspberry, blackberry, actually more of a raspberry than a blackberry, maybe a type of red currant as well. They actually wrote, someplace I wrote that, I read that they put the word peaches in there. I didn't get the peach at all. I'm getting the raspberries, but that's fine. An interesting whiskey, yes. Will you be able to find it in the States? No. Will you be able to find it one day in an auction? Who knows? The original price was 55 euros, so if you're paying more than that, you're paying secondary prices already. Glen Scotia has put out a lot of interesting bottles in the last 5 years. I'm looking into the future, tentative, a little bit worried, a little bit anxious about what the Hill House Capital Management will do to Glen Scotia. I do like their products. I've met a couple people that work there. There's a video in English actually about Hector on me. I met him in Berlin at the Whiskey Herbst. I interviewed him for 5 years. He's the assistant manager or assistant production manager. About 5 minutes of interview there. Very, very, very good person. Just type in Glen Scotia and WhiskyJason and you get that. Yeah, what can I say? My question of the day is, what is your favorite whiskey from Campbellton? Is it a Springbank? Is it a Glen Scotia? Is it a Kilkerran? I personally must admit, I'm not a Springbank fan, but this really did it for me. The 18-year-old, this is the 2019 release. It was bottled in November 2018, but it's considered the 2019 release. This is very good. 120 euros over here, about 135 dollars. Very, very expensive. So if I would actually have a choice, I would probably go over here to the Glen Scotia. Glen Scotia 15 would be my favorite whiskey from the Campbellton area. What's yours? Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. C plus, C minus for the value for money. 55 euros. I did a little bit of math. That turns into about 1,800 bottles, about 100,000 in income. You take away the 19% sales tax. You take away the probably, what is it, about 12% for the alcohol tax. You take away this and this and this. I'm sure there's still going to be a little bit of money left over from those 18 bottles that are being sold here by whiskey.de. And I think personally, if it would have been a price around 45 euros, I would have given it a C plus, but I'm going to give it a C minus here because I'm not really, this bottle didn't really touch all or tick all the right boxes that I need for a great whiskey. Okay, so a C plus in taste, a C minus in value. Thank you very much for watching. Question of the day was, which is your favorite? Please write down below. That'd be great. Which is your favorite bottling from Campbellton? Every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I put out a new video of rare and exotic whiskeys. Whiskeys you'll probably never ever see, but hey, my motto is, if no one else has done a video on it in English, I will. Thank you very much for watching. All the best. Bye-bye.